Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, man, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great most honorable world and taught me this truth. And Shalom to the hopeful elect, the 144,000 and the multitude of the elect, man, and of Israel, of Yahweh Shai. And today's lesson, I wanted to speak on, a little bit of touch on a little bit of history, and go into Jake ruling in Europe, our people, and basically, a couple of things that inspired the lesson. Now, I was out and about. I was in a place, and I basically overheard this guy. Now I believe he might have been Italian, and I was just kind of doing my own thing, but I kind of was overhearing him because he was talking to someone quite loudly, and I was listening to him, and he was talking about a bunch of different things that he was going through, and what really caught my attention is he said that his mother, which I believe, based on what he said, they must be from the north of Italy. He said that she never goes to the south, right? And he was talking about it in a way where, they kind of look down on the south, and immediately it got me thinking. Got me thinking a couple of things. And now I got two scenes, right, from these movies and TV shows that I'm gonna play, and then I'm gonna go basically into a little bit into the Moors. Now, according to biblical prophecy, there was a time where we were gonna rule, after the downfall of Esau in the Greco-Roman Empire. We were gonna basically be the ones that are gonna take over, and ultimately that takeover slowly started to happen, and really was established, around that period of about, 3 to 400 AD. 325 AD is a big date, and even before then, we were getting up in there because the Roman Caesars, after the Edomite Caesars, the first Israelite Caesar was Nerva, and he took over in 96 AD. Beginning with Nerva, then you got what they call them, the five good emperors. You had Marcus Aurelius, to name one, So that's a little bit of history. Now, why is it important? Because it's all part of biblical prophecy, and I'm going to read it for you. But before I do, in fact, let me read it first, and then we'll get into it. I'll play a couple clips, right? This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 1. It says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand." Alright, so this is dealing with what? He talks about the bottomless pit. This is dealing with Europe. That's what the bottomless pit is. And the great chain, ultimately, that's representing slavery. And it says, "And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent." Now, what should that remind you of when it says the old serpent? Going back to the garden, the serpent, man, which the serpent basically was the wicked, Cain. It says, which is the devil. And who did Cain come back as in the reincarnation? That spirit of Cain? Edom, Esau, the Edomites, right? And it's going to go on to say that old serpent, which is the devil, right, which means a deceiver, false accuser, and Satan, the adversary, and bound him 1,000 years. Now you might, you got Christians that look at that and they might think, that this angel came and there was a fight, and now they locked Satan somewhere in some cage. Spiritual demon Satan is in some cage somewhere for 1,000 years. And then, look, man, that's not what that's talking about. First and foremost, when you read Job, the first chapter, it tells you that Satan is an angel that works, he's on the left-hand side, a demon. One of the head, pretty much the top demon. Okay, he's one of the sons of God. He works for Yahweh, the Most High. Okay, he does the bidding of the Lord, man. Okay, he's part of the council. So this isn't talking about that. This is talking about, all right, basically the Edomites and their power structure, the Roman Empire, that basically falling into the hands ultimately of Jake. Okay, and them being out of power and Jake being in power for a 1,000-year period. And when you look at history, okay, when we came into power, like I mentioned, between 3 to 400 AD, 325 AD, that was like a major year. And what ended up happening is in the 14th, 15th century, okay, right, when you go into the Renaissance period, that's when we started to lose that power, and Edom started to come back into power. That little season. Let's read it. Revelation 20:3, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. So the 1,000 years have already been fulfilled. We're now living in the next bit, which says, and after that he must be loosed a little season. So that's what Esau's done. Esau's come and deceived the whole world, man. Alright? People don't even know who they are. They don't even know their biblical nationality. Okay? So that's, going into that scripture now. Let's expound on it, right? Let's look up what, right, Saracens. So I typed in, who are the Saracens and Moors? Which basically is the same thing, right? But it can the terms can be used differently. Saracens can be referred to, that Muslim band as a whole. But the Moors are kind of a bit more specific too, because even the word Moor, which I've got here, right, is a Moor etymology. It says North African Berber, one of the race dwelling in Barbary. From Greek Moros, perhaps a native name, or else cognate with Moros, black. Okay. Also applied to the Arabic conquerors of Spain, being a dark people in relation to Europeans. Their name in the Middle Ages was a synonym for Negro, which means black. Right? Now, when you look up Moreno, it says what? That comes from the Latin moros, more. It says dark brown, swarthy. Okay. So this is what, this is who we're dealing with here. Okay, here's a picture, right, to put it into perspective. And pretty much, we were ruling all over Europe, man. See, when you got those wars, the Christian wars and Muslims and this and that, and the France versus England, the 100 Years' War, all that stuff in history, that was us. That was Jake against Jake. That was Israelites versus Israelites. So-called Negroes versus Negroes, man. Okay? Basically, man. Alright? And I say so-called because, that's not what we are. We're the sons of God, man. We're the princes of Yahweh. Princes of Yahweh, Yahushai. That's what the word Israel means. When you break it down in the Hebrew, it means, the Hebrew word is Yasha Allah. So let's break that down. Yah, okay, he, meaning he, Shah meaning prince, and Allah meaning power. So we're the princes of the power, man. Okay, that's who we are. Alright, and we were the ones that were ruling. They don't teach you that Esau don't teach that in the schools. Okay, he only attributes the Moors. Okay, the Moors. Which even I was looking up Moors on Wikipedia. I just had loads of images of so-called white people. Make it make sense. But pretty much, man, well, here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Moors in Iberia. The Moors request permission from James I of Aragon. Moorish and Christian conquesta. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Let me get that image again. That's a better depiction. And you got who were the Moors? National Geographic. Okay. So now we've got a better understanding of what the hell was going on, man. Okay. So Jake got all up in there. Alright, now let's go back to this point here. Now this is the point I want to get. Now I typed in who are the Saracens and Moors. It says refer to either as Moors in Iberia or Saracens in South Italy and Sicily. Now it's funny because it says South Italy and Sicily, and this is the point I wanted to harp on. Now we got all up into Europe, all up into Italy. So, you know, but there was, in the conquest, you know, South Italy was taken. Okay. It says, and Sicily. Now you look at which one of the clips is from The Sopranos, which is basically like a show about the Italian mob. Okay. And so is the scene in True Romance. And they come from what? Sicily. Alright. It says their arrival in Europe dates to 711 AD, rapidly subduing most of Iberia and Sicily. And Iberia, that's the Iberian Peninsula, you know, comprising Portugal, Spain, and a bit of South France. It says among European kingdoms, their presence was seen as a constant danger. And only, check this out, by the 15th century was the Iberian reconquest completed. So, who started taking over bit by bit? Edom. And there was our downfall, man. And then what? They put us on cargo slave ships and sold us into slavery. See, that was planned. That was strategic. Okay? They didn't just go and just grab people up, man, in Africa. No, we were in Europe. We were all around. Okay? You know, when you really look in depth into the transatlantic slave trade, that was what was going on. It was targeted against our people by the devil, by Esau, the Edomites, the so-called white man. Alright? And now he's been loosed a little season. It's only a little season. His time is coming to an end. Let's get a quick precept. Let me get the 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. Right? It says, for Esau is the end of the world. So at the end of this age of rulership, Esau is going to be the one that's in rulership. And that's what we're living in today. That's why you got all the wickedness in the world. As it is written in Job 9 and 24. Right? Let's get that. Let's get Job 9 and 24. The earth is given. And why is it given? Because the Lord controls who's in power. This is all prophecy, you see. This is a prophecy being fulfilled. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who's the wicked? We'll come back to this. Let's go to Malachi 1. Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places, which that's what they've done. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So wherever this man is, that's where wickedness is, man, because they're the wicked. Okay? Look at it like this, right? When we're in our righteousness, okay, now in the kingdom, what do we call it? We call it the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be on earth, right? So why are we calling it the kingdom of heaven? Because, hey, when the Israelites are in rulership, that's going to be, you know, heaven upon earth, man, for Israel. And ultimately, because the earth is going to be ruled properly in righteousness, it's going to be a paradise. It's going to go back to being a paradise. But with the wicked are in rule, okay, you know, you're going to have wickedness everywhere. This is basically hell, man. All right. So that's who this is dealing with, the wicked. Right? That's how we know who it is. Let's go back to Job 9 and 24. Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. That's a big part of Renaissance art. Okay. And iconoclasm, image destruction, where they went around Europe and destroyed a lot of our images and put up their own images as the royalty, as the people. Okay. We were all up in France, in Spain, in Germany, and England. We were all up in there, man. Okay. If not, where and who is he? So, you know, we're revealing this devil, man. Okay. See, we're coming out on the highways and byways, and we're revealing this devil, and that's exposing him. This is and that's prophecy. 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 8, it says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. So the Lord, through his prophets, the men of the Lord, are exposing this devil. Every week we go out on the highways and byways, and when we do these lessons, we're exposing Esau for who he is and the things that he does, the devil. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So ultimately, when Yahushua returns, he's going to take down his kingdom, right? And then the second part of this prophecy shall be fulfilled, which is what? 2 Esdras 6-9. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And that's how we know that we're in that time. Look, because Esau is in rulership, and very soon his kingdom is going to be taken down. But we're in that time, and it's so soon, Akim. Okay? If you're watching this video, it's very soon. Now let me stop this music and play a bit of heart music, man. And let me play this clip, right? I ain't going to play this clip because it's a bit longer. I'm just going to go into it slightly, and then I'll play the actual other clip. Which in this clip, man, in True Romance, the movie True Romance, there's a scene where basically this character here, he basically explains to the Sicilian mob that they came out of Israelites, okay, and that the Moors, who were Israelites, okay, that were just in that Muslim mindset, okay, that believed in Islam, which you got that today, right? The Moors, which were Israelites, okay, conquered Sicily. They conquered that part, okay, and he said that's why blonde hair and blue eyes turn into dark features, okay. He said they did so much fucking. And when you, I think, well, I don't remember where I've seen it, or well, I've heard it. Obviously, the apostles and brothers got into it about 5 times a day. You know, and all people were getting it in, man. All right, you know, Moors were, we were conquerors. We were the ones that were in power, so we were getting it in. All right, multiplying, if you will. Right now. So that's what this scene is going into. You can go check it out. You know, True Romance. Type in True Romance Sicilians and it'll come up. Okay, or you can watch the movie. But pretty much, you know, that's the point on that. Now, going back to what I said about what I overheard about the guy. Now he was saying how she never goes down to the south. Basically, he was saying it in a way where they look down on the south, right? Now let me play this clip. Now, why did they look down on the south? Because the stigma, because of what's attached to it. All right. How to this day, because this is a modern account. That's 2023. What this guy said. To this day, people in the north look down on the people in the south. There's a divide there. Okay, because of the history of it. Now let's go into it, and this Furio from The Sopranos is gonna go into it in the scene. I'll play it.
It's our holiday, and they want to take it away.
Fuck them. But I never liked Columbus.
Oh, hey, come on.
In Napoli, a lot of people are not so happy for Columbus, because he was from Genoa.
What's the problem with Genoa?
The north of Italy always have the money and the power. They punish the south since hundreds of years. Even today, they put up their nose at us like we're peasants.
Right. So why do you think that is, man? See, when you have understanding of the history of what's actually gone on, and according to prophecy, okay, now you start to understand, because look, that's Jake, okay, so we're looked down upon, all right, wherever we go, man, all right, we looked at, there's something attached to that. Now let's go to Lamentations, right, what is it, Lamentations 2, bear with me. Bear with me. Let me type in clap their hands. All that pass by. Oh, there we go. Lamentations 2:15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? See, you know, that's how the nations are looking at us, man. All right. That's why wherever Israelites are, we're the ones that are downtrodden in society, in the ghettos and looked down upon. Okay? Wherever we are, man. Okay? Especially this look here, the archetype, that look, the Southern Kingdom, that's looked down upon, man. Okay? Wherever you are in the world. So, and derogatory terms and that, and that's all part of what? That's all part of what we're going through, because we're being punished by Yahweh Shemiel Shai. Okay? And that's part of that, when we went into slavery, when this man came back into power, this is the fulfillment of the curses. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 68. It says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships." Now, modern day Egypt is America, right? Let's read a quick precept on that. Let's go to Revelation 11 and 8. "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." So let's break that down. It says, "And their dead bodies." Who? The dead bodies are talking about what? Our people in a dead state of mind. Okay, we were in slavery, we didn't know. Okay, we didn't have this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Okay. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city." The scriptures say, "A man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead." Okay, we were in slavery. Chattel slavery, which we're in slavery today, but that was chattel slavery, man. Hardcore. "And in the street of the great city," okay, talking about America, "which spiritually is called Sodom." And man, do I really have to explain why that place spiritually is called Sodom, man? Just look at this. LGBTQ came out of there. Let's see what's being pushed upon the world from there. And Egypt, okay? All the tribes are over there in bondage, man. You got the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill. Why is that there? Why does Washington have like an obelisk, man? An Egyptian obelisk. Okay? That's where the image of our Lord was cut out. Okay? And they push what? Cesare. Okay? That Serapis Cryptus spirit. The white image of the Messiah today, which is a false image. Okay? See, the look of the Israelites is looked down upon in the world. All right? But what you're going to find out is that the Lord who created the earth and the people, the Lord Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, you're going to find out what he looked like. See, this is Revelation chapter 1 verse 13. "And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle," because the Lord is a man of war, right? "His head and his hairs were white like wool, and as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire." Okay, white like wool, man. Woolly texture hair, afro. "And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters." So the Lord, okay, he says what? His feet like unto fine brass, like bronze. When you look at burnished brass, or when you look at something that's burned in a furnace, what happens? It gets darkened. Okay? And that's pretty much, talking about what? That look. Okay? The look of Israel. Now this day you're gonna get what? You're gonna get people looking like the heathen nations, but they go back to the seed of Israel, because that's what even this guy was saying in True Romance. He was saying the Moors did so much fucking. That's what he said, man. Okay? All right? That blonde hair and blue eyes. But you can get a Jake with blonde hair and blue eyes. Look at man, I forgot that basketballer's name, but you look at his son. Okay? So you're gonna get Israelites looking like all different nations, man. Okay? But their seed for their father's line go back to Israel. They go back to our people. Okay? So, Lord willing, man, I hit the point. And, Lord willing, it's been an edifying lesson in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiel Shai B'Hashem HaKadosh. With that, man, I'm going to say Shalom. Shalom to the elect.